the proportion equation. This equation is very useful. It's also something that's very common, and the test will give you this kind of math, and hopefully they will expect that you know how to accomplish this. So let me show you what this is, or why this is what it is. If I have two ratios, for instance, if I tell you 1 of 2, then I say, hey, 1 of 2 is the same thing as having 2 of 4. Hopefully you can look at that and say, well, yeah, that is true. Having 1 of 2 is the same as having 2 of 4, because the left side, that's half, and the right side is half. So that quantity, those are exactly the same. And I'll say, yeah. But I'll also say this. There's also a way that you can check to see if this proportion, or the way that you built this, if it's true. If you're unsure, this is a really cool trick. So watch what happens. What it says is that if these proportions are true, if I multiplied across like that, and I multiply across like that, then the two results, or the two products that I get, they should be the same number. Let's see if that's true. If I take 1 and multiply it times 4, I get the number 8. I'm sorry, not 8, there, the number 4. And if I take the number 2 and multiply it times the number 2, I get the number 4. So are these two products the same? Yes. So this is true. So if it's untrue, watch what happens. Let me put 1 of 2 up again. And then over here, I'm going to put a different proportion. Let's put 3 of 4. So if the rates are, if these proportions are not the same, then when you do this cross multiplication, you will get a different answer. Let's see, 1 times 4 and 3 times 2. Yeah, these are going to be two different numbers. That's a 6 and that's a 4. So 6 and 4 are not the same number, so this is not equal. So that's what this proportion equation is stating. It's stating that what you see on the left is the same proportion that you see on the right. With this, though, one of the numbers is missing. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this information in order to solve. So let's give it a shot. So you'll notice that the first thing that happens is that you multiply across. That's always got to happen. N has to multiply times 30, and that's shown right here, N times 30. And 26 has to multiply times 9, and that's shown right here. So you have to multiply first. So you'll notice that 26 times 9 gives me the number 234. And N times 30, it cannot be done because I do not know what N is. That's a missing number. So I'm left with N times 30 equals 234. Now, here's the truth, and I'm going to give you just a shortcut about what algebra states. Algebra, this is an algebra math problem actually, what you're looking at right here, where you have a missing number and you're multiplying it times something, and it's giving you an answer. So algebra will state, hey, instead of taking N and multiplying by 30, you can figure out what N is if you just take 30 and do the opposite. So instead of multiplying, divide. So if I take 234 and I divide it by 30, you'll see it right here, then whatever comes out, that's what that missing number is. And that missing number is 7.8. If you want, we can check. Let's see if 7.8 times 30 gives me 234. I'm going slow, sorry. Using my keyboard, I have to find the times button. I don't really use this. There we go. Sorry. There it is, 234. So it is true. And that's how you do this. So let's go through and write a couple of examples. We'll write some information down. So just so you know, the first step that has to happen is cross multiply. Cross multiply. Okay. That's what this is happening. After you do that, you'll notice that one side could be solved and get an answer. The other side could not. So after you do that, the next step is to take the whatever the missing number is being multiplied by and do that and divide the other side by that number. And that's what's happening here. So the first step is to cross multiply. The second step is to divide. After you do that, you're left with a result. So let's give that a shot. Let's try one down here. Let's try this guy. You'll notice that your missing number is actually on the right side on the top. Now, that can happen. So this missing number can actually show up at any point in this proportion, but it doesn't stop what you do. You do the exact same thing, and it doesn't really matter. So here we go. First step is to cross multiply. I want to show h times 5, and I want to show 2 times 3. Now, 2 times 3 is 6, but I can't multiply h times 5, so that's just left. Now, my final step is to go ahead and divide. So I want to take h, and I say h is equal to, take that 6, and now divide it by 5. Whatever I get, that's the answer. Let's do it real quick. 6 divided by 5, 1.2. And if you want to check, there's an easy way to check. You should take 1.2 and replace it with h, and you should get 6. Let's see. So if I come over here and I go 1.2 times 5, I get 6. So that's algebra. That's how it works. I'll show you more later, but for now, these are the steps of using the proportion equation.